no mask, no flex. Lights on, my check is next. This is the truth, Unfiltered AF.
And we are back with another exciting episode of Unfiltered AF. And today we are joined by Gerhard Jacobs, founder and managing director of JJT Accounting. Did I say that the right way?
Accountants.
Accountants.
Yeah.
Apologies.
But it's fine.
I always get it wrong. So JJT Accountants. So I've met Gerhard. I've known Gerhard now for, I think it's about 10, 11 years. And we were having a chat about how old is JJT today. So this year, October, it will turn 12.
Yes, that's great.
So we've known each other for quite a while. You've heard our previous episodes about BNI and so forth. So we've got a lot of BNI guests on the show, it seems.
Okay.
And Gerhard, I met Gerhard through BNI,
Yes.
funnily enough.
Yeah.
And we got reconnected because of BNI again.
Yes.
So Gerhard, welcome. Welcome to Unfiltered AF.
Thank you very much. Quite exciting.
So honored to have you here. I've seen your journey from where you started JJT as basically it was you.
Well, basically myself and two other partners, and that's what the JJT stands for, is Jacobs and Taljaard.
Okay.
So those are the three founders of JJT. I started in October of 2014. Funny enough, just before my middle child was born. So, exciting times when we started. And we'd like to tell the story about we started like Google and all those big companies in a garage. So that's where we started. It was also in a single garage. Yeah.
Okay, so isn't that where the biggest businesses are always started? Is in your lounge, in your garage?
That's what they say. That's what we say. I wouldn't say we're the biggest, but we've grown over the years. And it's been exciting growth. So maybe that's where big businesses start. Garage, lounge,
Well, if one looks at Apple, they started in their garage.
Yeah.
And look at Apple today. It's one of the most valuable companies in the world. So
Absolutely.
so there's always hope for anybody starting in a garage.
I wonder where Samsung started. I'm just trying to think because I'm not an Apple fan, but okay.
Maybe the team can quickly Google that. How did Samsung start?
Yeah.
And then they can inform us about that. So, Gerhard, tell me that journey. You and two other partners started JJT together in 2014. So, what was it like? Was it a roller coaster? Was it easy? Did you have everything just come your way?
So, you know what? My wife and I talk about this on a, call it semi-regular basis, where starting a new business and call it coming from nothing, you walk out of being employed and part of another business and you just need to start. And having my middle child being born in November of that year, I sort of found that I never spent enough time. So there was, especially the first 3 years of my middle child's life, I was working until 4 o'clock in the morning, seeing clients 7 o'clock in the morning again. So it was tough and it was required, and it's sacrifices that we needed to make to actually build a business that we believe in, we wanted as being next 50 years, being alive and going strong from strength to strength. But it's a lot of sacrifices, and especially those first 3 years where you can still see, under the eyes, you can see the sleep is still lacking a bit. But because of those first few years in business.
So during this journey, the three of you started. And where's JJT today? How big is your team, and what's your reach? Is it only because you guys are based in Kempton Park? But what's your reach currently in South Africa or globally?
So we've actually got, let's call it, we've got 4 partners. One of our founding partners is now semi-pension, if I can put it that way. She just comes in and works when she wants, and when we want her to work, the rest of the time, she takes holiday. But currently we've got, call it 3 offices. We've got office in Zimbabwe. We've got one in Kempton Park that deals with the whole of Gauteng. And then we've got one in the Vaal Triangle. Now, our one director, he stays also in the Vaal Triangle. And we've expanded quite a lot in the last 3 years. We've expanded a lot into the Vaal Triangle. But we do work anywhere in South Africa or overseas. I mean, we've got Mauritian clients, we've got Chinese, we've got American, we've got Australian. So our reach is everywhere, especially when we look at subsidiaries in South Africa for those clients from Mauritius and China, even America. And yeah, so currently with call it the 4 partners, we've got over 20 staff. And I think we've grown 25% year on year from the start.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sure. That's a beautiful story, isn't it?
Well, you know what? It hasn't been easy, especially coming through COVID. I mean, that's been the hardest. I mean, COVID taught us how to change the way we do business and change the way that we work, not with our clients only, but how the staff works. In COVID, I had also 20 staff, and I said, listen here, we need to change this whole system, and I let some of the staff go, and then we changed and we actually increased our productivity through, call it technology and all of those kind of things. Yeah.
Okay. So quickly tell me, Gerhard, what was your most difficult point or moment in JJT that could have derailed you?
I think the most difficult point for me at some stage was being on my own, because both our founding partners, the one going on pension, being a lot less involved, and the other founding partner here in about 2016, 2017, he took a bit more corporate road, changed his whole outlook or what he wanted to do with his career, if I can put it that way. And then in 2022, he actually came back. Okay. I had a meeting with him. He was struggling a bit with contracts where people was also going back to corporate. I said, well, friend, I need you to come back. I need your help, because I found that I was becoming the bottleneck in our business, in the system. And that was the most difficult part in my life with JJT, is being almost on my own, needing to do most of the work, or managing most of the work, being the only partner that's involved on a day-to-day basis. And that's when I said, come back, come join me again. Yeah.
So tell me, what do you reckon is the recipe of your success? What did you do to grow and scale? And whereas a lot of businesses today, sole props and small companies who've been running for 10, 20 years, but it's still a small business, 1 or 2 team members and so forth. So what did you do that's different?
I think there's maybe 2 things that I find is the most important things that I did. One is always perseverance. Don't give up. And I think a lot of us want to give up maybe 2-3 times a day. But yeah, we need to keep on persevering. And the second one is, and that's one of my life mottos, if I can put it like that, especially in business, change is not a luxury. It's a necessity. You have to constantly change and adapt to environment, to people, to the economy, whatever the case may be. You need to adapt. If you don't, you're already behind. So I think that's 2 of the main reasons why I think we've been growing and growing strength to strength. Absolutely.
And you reckon maybe that COVID was a big catalyst for changing the way you do business, like you said earlier?
I believe so. We needed to become a lot smarter in the way we deal with things. Look, yeah, and even today, I'm not involved in every single thing that happens in the firm. But I always say the best is, and it doesn't matter to me how big the business grows, is that I don't want to be like the CEO of a big corporate where you want to talk to him, you can't, because you don't even have his number. Every client has my personal number. And if they phone, I'll answer, or I'll phone back if I'm in a meeting. So that is something that I also think is very important for today's environment. People do business with people, not with businesses. And that's what I want to keep on living with our business.
If you had to mentor yourself 11 years ago, what would you have told that version of Gerhard today, knowing what you know today?
Don't be so scared to make changes.
Okay.
I think that's the main thing. Sometimes I say that there's a few kind of people in life that I've found over the years make changes or make decisions quite difficult. Accountants are one of them. So we take usually a year to 2 years to buy a new car because we investigate and we plan, and then we investigate and then we plan, and then we start window shopping, and then we do window shopping again, and then maybe after 2 years we'll buy that car. Other people, lawyers, I sometimes feel do the same, and then architects do the same, but you need to adapt and you need to change. So thinking back, I'll tell myself, yeah, silly boy, just make the change, just make the decision and get on with it.
So, word of advice for any aspiring business owner, somebody that wants to start their own business today, they're tired of lack of freedom, they're tired of the hustle and bustle of a 9 to 5, or they want to live their passion in business. What advice can you give that individual?
Alkin, you know what? You mentioned something quite interesting there, lack of freedom. Don't think you're getting freedom when you start a business. You have to have massive discipline to start off with. And the advice I would give someone, remember it's not an 8 to 5 or 8 to 4, 9 to 5 job anymore. When you've got your own business, it's not like that at all. Something needs to be done. You need to be able to adapt and make sure that you get the work done, because that will give you reputation, give you a good rapport, create credibility that you need to sustain a business that goes 10 years plus. That's absolutely something that I think a lot of new entrepreneurs forget about. They think it's going to be a 9 to 5. And okay, if it's 9 to 3, that's also fine. But the buck stops with you. You need to put in the additional hours. And yes, there is freedom. I mean, even I can go and watch a rugby match with my son at school. I'm involved with the school a lot. So, but if 10 o'clock at night, something needs to be done, I need to be there to get it done.
And that is your burden as a business owner, right?
Absolutely, it's always your burden, yeah.
So tell me your team. Do they pick up on that culture as well? Or do they clock watch? This is now your opportunity to actually talk into this.
Well, this is it's quite fun to see culture change over years.
Yeah.
And we've had a culture change over the past few years. But I have to tell you, it depends on the level of person.
Yeah.
A trainee, someone at the bottom, I say bottom because they're an entry level team member, if I can put it that way. And those you find are the clock watchers. But as soon as you move upwards, my team leaders, my practice manager, us as partners, I mean, I always tell my people, listen, I'll send you a WhatsApp or a message or something at 10 at night. Please don't feel you need to respond immediately. It's fine if you respond tomorrow. It's just so I don't forget that I send you that message.
Yes.
I don't want to forget, because the moment I forget, the client is on the short end. So some of them starts responding when I send those messages at that time of the night. Some of them get it done immediately. But it's not everyone. So the culture is different throughout the levels of the team members. Yeah.
So with your team, I've seen you work with your team when I did visit you guys the other day.
Okay.
So tell me, how do you keep things interesting? I'm going to use that word very specifically now. Interesting within your teams, within the company.
Okay, so trying to consider what you maybe have seen there. Sometimes I like a fun environment with the team members as well. Yeah. We tease each other, we make light jokes about stuff. I feel if you don't have fun doing your work, it's not worth doing it at all. You need to have the fun. So I tease them and make jokes about it. It's absolute fun having that kind of culture as well.
So this might be a difficult question to answer.
Well,
you're not obliged to answer it, but
okay.
Is there moments that your team does mess up?
Look, I tell my team members, we all make mistakes. Yeah. That's one thing we all have to remember throughout any business, any service, any industry. Mistakes happen. There's no way you can keep them from happening completely. There will be mistakes. I always say just to my team, the moment you make that mistake, because don't think you won't make one, you will make. The moment you make that mistake, you come and tell me immediately so that we can immediately fix the mistake. So we've had mistakes, and I always say it's the way people value the way that you act to rectify the mistakes. And that's quite important for us, for me specifically. Yeah.
So, quickly being vulnerable here.
Yeah.
Do you make mistakes?
Absolutely, I do. You know what? To remember everything is quite difficult.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would say it's this and it wasn't really that, but I'll always come back and, as an example, tell the client, listen here, I was wrong. This is the right way, or this is the right amount, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I make mistakes.
Okay. But at the end of the day, you own up, you're transparent, there's values.
Yeah. So to give you an idea, we've got core values in our business that we developed when we started. I think it was someone like Dr. Ivan Meisner mentioned years ago in a podcast or on a video conference call or something. He said, you'll find that businesses that are in existence for longer than 50 years, those businesses all have good foundation with core values. And that's why we've also got core values. We developed 5 core values that we live by every single day in the way we deal with our clients and with each other.
What was your most difficult client ever? You obviously don't mention the client, but what was the situation?
I won't say elk and butter then, but no, I'm trying to think. You get difficult people throughout.
That's like a boomerang coming right back at me. Listen, Gerhard, I think we signed that contract yesterday, didn't we?
It might have been. I can't remember.
Okay.
No, but you know what? I think one of the most difficult clients I've ever had is a client that didn't want to accept what we were telling him. He was always questioning us. He thought he knew better every single time on every single thing you told him. But you know what? Over years, he's not that difficult anymore. He started, gaining, I think, our trust throughout things that we did. He's not that difficult anymore.
Okay. Because of relationship.
Because of relationship, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, if you take one of our core values, being honest, I was honest with him. I said, listen here, one, you are being a bit difficult. Let's be honest about it, okay? The secondly is, I'll show you everything that we do. And we do that always. And over the years, it's developed into a good relationship, and he trusts me because of what we've gone through over the years.
So, have you ever faced a situation where you had to tell a client, listen, we can't help you anymore?
Yes. Not once, not twice, a few times. Especially for us, we do a risk evaluation around our clients. What they do, how they do their business, what kind of businesses they're involved. There's certain businesses that we won't get involved in because it puts too much risk on us. And because we take in individual liability, personal liability with the kind of work we do and what we give through to SARS and other regulatory bodies. So there are absolutely clients that we said, sorry, cheers, you're in this industry, we don't work in that industry, or you are connected to this person or that person, and I'm sorry, we don't work like that. So we've absolutely done that over the years, yeah.
Okay. So what's next, Gerhard, for JJT? Is there big plans coming up, something exciting to look out for?
There's always exciting stuff to look out for, especially with JJT, because we want to be innovative. Some things that we've actually started developing over the last year or two is to be able to get quotes from us directly through our website, especially when it comes to body corporate audits and school audits. So any school or body corporate that wants a quote from us for their audit, they can get that from the website in minutes. So that's something that we've done, and what's going to happen in the future is we're going to streamline that whole process so that people can get easier get quotes and finalize work and get into the system. I always say is because we've got regulatory items to get ready when we sign up a new client, the quicker we get that done, the quicker we can get the work done. For me, it's always about we need results. The results we produce influences the ability for a client to sell more, get more work in, and that's why we'll keep on working on that. So I believe in the next year or two, we'll see a lot more of our integration with the quotations and proposals through the website as we carry on developing that. And then some other fun stuff is our YouTube channel. We've committed to spend a lot more time on creating educational things for the YouTube channel, so that will increase as well.
Okay, so JJT's got their own YouTube channel podcast,
Yeah.
where you actually educate
So
the general consumer or business owner.
Business owners, individuals,
taxes.
personal taxes. So we spend a lot of that time on that, and we educate people on that. Sometimes it's silly stuff, if I can put it that way. How to submit your income tax return, or
The right way.
the right way. That's the other thing. I must tell you about this client I have. So, when people submit incorrect stuff because they don't understand, that creates some issues that we then need to sort out.
But you can sort it out.
Yes, we can. Sometimes what they call an ID10T error.
Yeah, okay, well, that happens. I think from a professional point of view, South African taxes, especially for business owners, it becomes very complicated depending on your portfolio, with annuities, with investment, with business ownership, and so forth. It becomes complicated that it is not a basic tax return with an IRP5 or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
So it becomes difficult where you guys are qualified and registered with all the authority,
The regulatory bodies.
To be able to act as a tax practitioner.
Yes.
For individuals and businesses and so forth. So your company is well rigged and has got all the necessary requirements to take a small business to onboard how big of a business.
Look, we in all honesty, we don't want the biggest JSE listed companies and those kind of things. That's not where we want to play in any case. So we want to help smaller business grow into that bigger business or medium-sized business. And if they want to list, that's fine. We'll get you other auditors. But we want to help businesses grow. And I mean, we're registered with RBA, with SICA, with SITE, with CYBA, with ACCA. So we've got so many registrations and so many fees I need to pay every year just to keep them.
Yeah.
But it does give us the credibility. It does help us make sure that we're on top of the new changes, because now tax laws change on a regular basis. Every year there's something that changes. I mean, 2 years ago we had the implementation of the solar refunds that you could get. And because of those changes, if we're not keeping ourselves up to date, how can we submit or help the clients in the right manner? We also do have, especially when it gets very complicated, we've got tax lawyers on hand we work with. We've also got some advisors depending on the type of investments. So we work a lot with alliances through people like Anchor, as an example, Anchor brokerage firm, and the kind of investments that one does for a client that give him a tax benefit is very important. But then taking into consideration as well is that South Africa still has the most complicated tax system in the world. Not just because of the amount of taxes, but how it's worked out. And luckily over the last 50 years, it's all been, they say, smart tax practitioners and accountants that help develop the tax system in such a way. Look, working with government is difficult sometimes, especially with taxes and registrations and all those kind of things. But we deal with it, and we try and be proactive in the way we deal with it.
So, as we're starting to wrap up, our viewers, business owners out there who feel like today they want to give up, they can't move forward, or they're stuck, or whatever the case might be, what word of advice do you have for them?
Take a step back, take a double whiskey and a single Valium, and then start over tomorrow. That's the best advice. Just just take a step back and relax and rethink it. Open the mind. Just take a bit of rest, because sometimes we get so busy we don't rest. And rest for a business owner is very important.
Because you also do lose perspective.
You do.
Because your storm right now feels like it's the end of the world, but if you look back to 5, 6, 10, 11 years back, where were you then?
100%.
So,
but you know what? The other thing that I would absolutely say is important for every business owner is having mentors. And when I talk about mentors, it doesn't mean it needs to be a successful business owner that's doing 10 billion rand kind of thing. That's not what I'm talking about. It's someone that you can actually look up to because you understand, you value the way they do business. Okay. I've got a business mentor. Then I've got an industry mentor. Okay. And that's also important because your business mentor doesn't necessarily understand your industry.
yeah.
So you need to have mentors, other people that you work with and you can bounce ideas off of in the industry. And then other people your age that wants the same out of life. Call it your colleagues, your friends, people that you can also talk to on a regular basis. So as I said, it's 3 different type of mentors. I think that adds so much value to business owners, which they don't realize.
That's valuable. So to our listeners and our viewers, I think Gerhard just touched on a very important point. When you do feel alone, when you do feel isolated, when the going gets tough, make sure that you surround yourself with positive individuals, industry experts, business experts who can actually help and navigate you through the pitfalls, through the challenges of running a business. And that's why we do Unfiltered, is to show you that you're not alone. Because you find yourself so isolated sometimes that it feels like you can't move forward, you can't carry on. It is the end of the world in your mind. But just stepping away, like Gerhard rightly said now, can give you a new perspective. Bouncing ideas with trusted mentors who have accomplished business, a proper business in life, who's industry experts and so forth in your specific industry. They can help you shift perspective, one, and help you navigate out of whatever you find yourself in. So Gerhard, it was truly an honor having a chat with you today. Your insights, how you've scaled and grown your business the last 11 years. And obviously we expect that to double in the next couple of years.
Absolutely.
Again, that you've got hundreds of team members and you're a national force to be reckoned with. So Gerhard, we wish you all of the best. Thank you for your advice and insight here today. If our viewers want to get in touch with you, maybe just to have a chat or maybe to see what can JJT offer them, where can they find you?
Any social media platform, includes YouTube as well, our channel on YouTube, our website, office number, everything. You can find us anywhere on the web.
So Gerhard, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was truly an honor. And for our viewers, we trust that you found this session incredibly valuable, this episode valuable. If you want more of this, if you want to see more episodes like these, remember to like, share, and subscribe, Unfiltered AF, so that you can learn, you can grow, and you can be inspired. See you next time. Thank you. Cheers.
Unfiltered AF, real ones rise, no mask, no flex. Lights on, mic check is next. This is the truth, Unfiltered AF.